Na kuna jina ambalo tunajaribu kutamka hapa, lakini ndajaribu sana kusukumiza. Namna tulivyokuahidi mwaka jana kwamba tutakuletea wakulima hapa studioni, basi tunatimiza hilo, na tayari tunaye Joseph Ndungu. Karibu sana. Na jina lako la pili ndilo litapambana nalo, Samuel Kimundoi, sio?
Yeah, Ndoi.
Bila shaka. Karibu sana siku ya leo.
Na
naamini kwamba itakuwa ni radhi kwenu mtuelekeze kuhusiana na maswali ambayo tuko nao kwa ajili ya watazamaji.
Kweli.
Now, just to start with you, Samuel, before we took a break, which is the fact that you are in the insurance business as a young person, and you made the shift to being a farmer in the coffee sector. I would like to find out what inspired that move.
I would say I got that there was a space that had been left out, and the youth were not into embracing coffee farming, especially because it's something that the average age of a coffee farmer is past 70 years. And it's because they had a taste of Kenyan gold in the 80s. So they still hold up to it. But luckily, my father just delegated the duties of the farm to me and told me to take over to start farming. So once I found that, I felt it's a new challenge, new environment, and coffee is vast, being one of the most traded commodities in the world. So I said, let me take up with the new knowledge I have. I can be able to learn the new policies coming into place so that I can strategically market myself and place myself for the growth of the coffee industry. Yeah,
Are you proud of the move now?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy about it. I would say, actually, coffee is the magic beans in the coffee beans.
Great.
I'll say that.
Anapozungumza Sam hapo, najua unaona unatabasamu sana kwa sababu unasikiza ni mdogo, lakini tayari kuna zimu ambalo limekuja sasa hivi. Serikali inatupatia tax ya 5%. Kwako umechukuliaje kama mkulima?
Hiyo ndio kitu imenistua. Kwa sababu ni kitu hata siku najua. Lakini sasa hii imeguza mahali ambayo sasa tungeomba serikali iende pole.
Hauoni kwamba wanaingilia watu?
It is too much. Now inaonekana wanataka watu wote watoke hata kwa kazi. Wakuwe wakola, wakuwe nini, kwa sababu this is the time people had started going back to the coffee tree. Now they have started talking about taxes. 5% in everything. Kwani serikali inatupeleka wapi sasa? It is too much. Tunaikataa kabisa. Na tungeomba wabunge wetu tafadhali, come up and talk. Sasa tuliwatuma mukali. Hii imekuwa too much.
Now, Joseph, still on that issue, it's the work of the government to provide a very enabling environment for business to flourish. Yes. As a coffee farmer and as a farmer who's been in the game for very many years, do you feel like the government has managed to achieve that? And if not, what more can be done?
If I was to mark, I would give them at least D-. Because they have not done anything to help farmers do what they want to do with their farms. For example, in coffee, when they were campaigning, they talked about GMR, guaranteed minimum return. I heard even sometimes back, the cabinet said that coffee should, they gave us 4 billion as charity fund. But maybe they are distributing this charity fund to the farmers. It does not benefit the farmer. Because also before I go there, they are talking about subsidized fertilizer. This fertilizer is nowhere to be found. Like, coffee farmers are not getting this fertilizer. And I'm telling you, as much as we want to go back to the coffee, the government must come up and help us. And our governors, stop this song of saying that agriculture is devolved. Where are you? Where are the extension officers who used to come to the farms? They are the people with the knowledge of telling us this tree is a friendly tree to the coffee. Like, we have many trees that are coffee friendly, but the extension officers are nowhere to be found. They just stay in the office and wait for the salaries. They don't want to go to the chambers. The other thing, the government must come up with a good policy of what we should do, because climate change is real and it is there. In our old days, we used to spray coffee 3 times. Now, unless you go for 9 times, and you know, when you talk of 9 times, what you are doing with the money from your pocket. The revolving fund they are talking about is not helping us because right now they have introduced another scandal in waiting called DSS. DSS is monopolized by one bank, cooperative bank. That is where, when the coffee is sold from the auction, all the money is deposited to that account. Where on earth, how do we guarantee that this money is safe? Najua mtu kama ameumwa na nyoka, akiona kamba anafikirianga ni nyoka. Good news, today I was in the auction and the auction was very good. In fact, a factory called Gathaivi sold AA at $401. And the AB was also very good. Okay, this one was necessitated by, it was being sold by a very experienced commercial marketer. Today they are called brokers. Alliance Berries. Alliance Berries seems to have a lot of experience in selling coffee. And Ngina and Teler, there's something the deputy president, if he is really serious with the reforms in the coffee, he has to listen to the people on the ground, not to listen to the people who are in office telling him to do 1, 2, 3. For example, in the auction today, although it fetched a lot of some good amount of money, there's a problem. The backlog in KPCU today, early crop imekutwa na main crop. There is a crisis in KPCU. And they have licensed only very few millers. And the millers they have licensed only 2 commercial millers. That is Umoja Coffee Millers and KPCU. The others are Coffee Union. And unless something is done, and the peak of selling coffee is in February, we are in trouble, coffee farmers.
So what's the main factor that is leading to the backlog?
Our governors have refused to give licenses to the millers. Like in Kiambu County, we used to have 7 millers: Tropical Farm Management, Sasini, CMS, Kahawabora, Thika Coffee Mills. The governor up to now have not given anybody license. Nevertheless, there are some things that they want to sort out. But, for example, we have a society in Kiambu called Komadai. They have a blood new coffee milling machine. They want to mill their coffee. And the peak of selling coffee is in February. Sasa, okay, slow but sure, the governor is, but tukipitwa na ile wakati kahawa inauzwa bei nzuri, utuletee barua wakati umechelewa, utatusaidia na nini?
Yes. Hapo umeeleza kwa undani sana. Kwako Sam,
kweli
unakutana na changamoto hizi hasa ukizingatia kwamba February vile amezungumza yeye kwamba mwezi wa pili sasa tunatarajia mauzo mengi sana. Kwako changamoto hizi zikoje?
Kwangu nitasema once you start the process of milling, utakuwa kwanza umepatana na the contracts. Na wakulima wengi hawafahamu kuhusu the contract they enter with the millers. Sasa hapo kutakuhitaji sensitization ya maana ili wafikie wakulima wako na information, wanajua the terms zinatumika kwenye hizo contracts. Ndio ukifika pale utaweza kumpigia simu na ujue kila kitu inaendelea na kahawa yako, you should be consulted. Kwa sababu kahawa ni yako. Kwa hivyo wewe ukimpigia simu mwambie nimilie, nataka uniharakishie kumil, market uniambie siku ya kupeleka, uniambie grade zangu ziko namna gani, uniambie cup quality yangu, the profiling of the whole system. But you find it challenging because once they limit the players in the field, kuna kuwa na backlog which is expected kwa sababu efficiency haitakuwa as high. Then people had previously, because the auction was off for some period of time, people actually had lots of coffee bags in their stores. and it became a security issue. Kwa sababu, yes, the Interior Ministry is promising the farmer about security. But once you go on the ground, there is coffee hawking, which is continuing, which is illegal in paper, but actually, unapata, it's something that's going on.
All right.
And now once it becomes a security issue, it's not just for the coffee, also for your life. Because people get killed wakienda kuendea kahawa and such issues. So it's actually a challenge. If they clear the way, yes, easy changes the deputy president, we embrace them. But kama zingefanyika kwa utaratibu, na zifanyike haraka, at least the farmer will find efficiency in the process at all.
Now, you've spoken very much on the importance of sensitization.
Yeah.
As a young farmer who got the inheritance from the dad, and you're also looking for information to know how to go about coffee farming, has it been possible for you to get information? And very briefly, you can mention which sources you've been using to access this very vital information.
So I'll say myself, because I had interest in coffee all through, I used to go for these coffee shows, the expos. So I happened to go to the Coffee Research Foundation and met with a body called KCPA, Kenya Coffee Producers Association. I'll say it has been of immense help, because over there you'll meet fellow colleagues who are in the farming industry, and you will have to talk with them. You tell them your experience, they tell you their experience. You'll have peer-to-peer learning, which is very important. And also we have WhatsApp groups, and once you become a member of the group, they are actual, almost every month, they will give you a meeting whereby you'll be sensitized on the coffee reforms that are happening and how you can do to make your coffee a business.
Great.
Yeah.
Absolutely pertinent issues that are being raised by our coffee farmers right here in studio. We're taking a short commercial break, but when we come back, we will talk about what are some of the challenges that coffee farmers are facing during harvesting. And also, we come back with Gold Highlights, an opportunity for you to find out what is happening in the space of agriculture, who is doing what. See you after this break.